Hello and welcome to the Brews and Reviews podcast. I'm Brenton.
Ron.
And this is a different show than we're used to doing. This is the second week in a row that we're doing Movie May. So we started off with doing 24 after 24, but we've had a little break from that while we just get through some movies for something a little bit different. So we've dedicated the month of May to doing some movies. Last week we did something new. So we did Havoc. New Netflix movie. But this week we decided to go for a little bit of nostalgia. We've gone
old school.
Back to, when was it? 1992. One?
Yeah.
Why do I in two different places I saw two different dates. I saw 1991 and then in another place I saw released March 1992. So I'm not sure why.
Oh, so it wasn't even like January 1992.
No, because I wondered, was it like a Christmas release or like a Christmas holidays release? It probably was. Maybe.
I mean, I've got 91 here, and I don't know. That's just what it says.
No, I've seen 91 and I've seen 92.
Just go 91 and a half.
Yeah, let's go with that.
We were only, how old were we? We were like 6 years old. Oh no, 4 years old.
Yeah.
Or 3 years old.
Yeah.
Far out.
So obviously we didn't see it then. I would not have seen it in the movies. And if I did, shame on my parents.
Yeah. Yeah, those mermaids really get to you.
Yeah, well, we were both talking about it before. Like, is the older 6 yet? Yeah.
Yeah, in
5.
next month. Yeah.
So essentially 6.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think I'd want my oldest watching it yet.
Because I watched on my phone sitting next to my wife while she was watching something. And I was sort of like at the start, I was like, I wonder if my son could watch this.
Yeah.
And then I was going through it and I was like, it's like, not that bit.
No.
Not this bit. And then, not that bit.
It might be, because, we've watched some Star Wars and whatnot, and there's just some parts where he just, he looks away. And it probably could be one of those movies because there's some pretty cool parts and stuff that I think.
Don't know if my wife would let me.
Let him watch it.
I don't think, she doesn't like Star Wars, so.
Yeah.
Does your wife like Star Wars?
Yeah. Luckily. Well, we just, like I was telling you earlier, we just got back from a Lego Star Wars exhibition in Melbourne, which was really cool. Speaking of wives, Happy Mother's Day. This is going to be a belated Happy Mother's Day by the time this actually goes out.
This is recorded on Mother's Day.
We are recording on Mother's Day.
So I think our wives will be happy. We've left them alone that night. The kids are probably asleep.
That's the right thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Give them some space.
Give them some space. They need it.
So yes, Hook released in 91/92.
Yep.
We'll try and figure out the exact right year that it was actually released.
I mean, surely everyone, the 4 people that listen to us, have seen this movie, so
yeah,
we won't go into like hella detail.
No, but before we do start going into it in medium detail,
yes,
we got to do our brew review.
Do we have like a song intro?
Sure, maybe. Now these are big cans.
Big boys.
I needed larger stubby holders.
Nothing like drink driving on the way home.
Yeah, so let's get them out. And I should have looked it up because
pina coladas.
No, I was trying to find where they're actually brewed, and if you can find it for me, that'd be great because I can't see it. But it is a Beer Club Brewing Nostalgia Milkshake IPA, and because we're doing Hook, it's very nostalgic. I saw it and I was like, that's the one.
A melted tropical ice cream from the
bygone time.
What's bygone time?
Like time before. Times past. Yeah, it's an interesting one. So 2 standard drinks, 440ml, 5.9%. It's a decent one. I was looking at some double IPAs today and I was like, oh yeah, maybe soon. Yeah. I mean, we spend enough hours doing this that we could get away with having one of these before driving home.
Oh nah, it was when we were coming home. You know when we went out Friday nights, you had your work dinner, I had my work dinner.
Yeah.
You didn't come home early. You came home early hours in the morning.
Yeah.
See, I was home by like 11 and there was a booze bus.
Whereabouts?
On the expressway.
Oh.
So like you go under the
bridge.
What,
did they block a lane off on the expressway?
Yeah.
Wow.
So where A-Lifts Road comes down.
Yeah.
And South Road comes
for in. All those non-South Australians.
Yeah. So, yeah. So you're on it. You couldn't get off.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, bang, it was Friday night.
Oh, that would have been us.
There'd be a few.
Damn. I love going through.
Yeah. I was in an Uber and the dudes obviously saw it. He was an Uber.
Yeah.
Wave on through, mate.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Well, I want my Uber checked. I want to make sure I'm getting home safe.
Oh, my Uber was dodgy as.
So like I said, Nostalgia Milkshake IPA. We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Give it a crack.
Yeah, go on. Do the trick I taught you.
Yeah, just learned today. Push the tab down first. Just changed my life.
Push down.
Oh, hear that fizz.
Oh, it's fizzing. I can hear it. It's so good. Here we go. Oh, now I can't do it. Here we go. Oh.
Yeah, I can.
Spits.
You can hear that as well.
There's a boy.
Oh, that's fruity as.
Oh, yeah.
Passion fruit.
That's not beer. That's like a soft drink, that.
That's delicious. Well, and at 2 standard drinks as well.
How's it going to balance on our makeshift stuff?
I forgot to do my little close up. Oh, I can taste a bit of that alcohol on the back end though.
Yeah, a little bit of a Bernie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that flavour's very,
it's good.
Feels like a summer holiday somewhere.
Oh, this is going to be an 8 for me. Where's this from?
I can't see it on there. Can you see a location? It says beer. So it's Beer Club Brewing is the is who's making it.
Here we go. Where is Beer Club Brewing from?
Come on, Siri.
She wants me to turn location services
Oh
on.
my god!
What the fuck?
At home, I've got just like one of those little mini Google speaker things that we just have in our living room.
Yeah.
Google is incredible at answering questions.
Oh yeah.
Siri is fucking hopeless.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't stand.
And
Siri.
even my kids know. We'll be out somewhere, and one of them will ask me a question that I won't know the answer to, as often happens.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh, ask Hey Google," and I'm like, "Well, we're not home, so I don't have the Google. We'll have to ask Siri."
Yeah.
And it's either, "Sorry, I can't answer that right now," or, "Oh, I can search that on the web for you. Here are the search results." It's like, just tell me. What happened to Apple AI that was supposed to be coming?
What was that supposed
Oh
to?
no, Apple Intelligence. I haven't actually tried it because my phone's not new enough to have that on it. You've got to have one of the new ones to have Apple
The new
Intelligence.
chip or something.
Yeah, but my laptop does, but I've never used it yet. So maybe I should give it a try and see if it's any better at answering questions about where is Beer Club Brewing from.
Yeah, does it say? Oh, by the way, printed can again.
Yeah, nice. And cool looking can. It stood out to me.
It's got the sharkers. Just looking at this, it suits with the movie Hook because of the pastel coloured food.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
That's the first
that's
thing
one of my favourite parts.
I love that bit. Yeah,
that's one of the ones that really brought back memories. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my favourite. Like, yeah, this will be my favourite part of the movie.
Yeah.
Is when he starts to learn to be Peter Pan again.
Hook,
Looky, I got a
directed
hooky.
by Steven Spielberg. So he'd done quite a bit by this time. Like he's
Yeah, you were saying that.
yeah, because when was
E.T.?
E.T.? Was that was 80s?
I think it was like 89 or something.
And when was it? I can't even remember when the first Indiana Jones was, but that was, I think all 3 Indiana Jones were released before
We were born.
Well, this is 91, so it's gonna be close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to check that. But this was the year before Jurassic Park. Got quite a few stars for this one, and quite a few just doing like real minor roles. And it's not like when we talked about in 24 about it was roles before they were famous.
Yeah.
And these are famous people at the time doing very minor roles, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Little cameos and things like that.
There's a few cameos in this.
So obviously the two big ones, the 2 big stars for the movie, or the 2 main characters, obviously Robin Williams playing Peter Pan,
Yeah.
Dustin Hoffman playing Captain James Hook.
It's so funny because the whole time I was watching it, obviously when I watched it back when I was younger, you didn't know who he was.
Nah.
But now all I can see is Meet the Fockers, and he's just like full hippie.
Yeah.
But now that's all I could see through. Yeah, that was good.
Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell. Maggie Smith as old Wendy. And my God, she looks super old in this movie in 1991. But
I looked this up. Is she still acting?
No, she just passed away recently.
Oh,
Yeah.
didn't look up that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw she was in something not too long ago.
Yeah.
But she was in like.
Oh God, I'm hoping I'm right about that. I hope I haven't just like killed her off before she's actually dead.
she's pretty old. She's in like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff.
Is she?
Yeah.
What? As what?
I don't know. Nova something. I don't know. I can't remember the movie.
Okay.
I just recently looked this up like tonight, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's who I was looking up.
Yeah.
Wendy, darling.
she's great. Gwyneth Paltrow is in it.
Wait, what?
Yeah. What was her character? Oh shit, I'm gonna forget what her character was.
I'm listening.
She's in it.
Really?
Yeah. Glenn Close. You told me this one. Phil Collins is in it.
So yeah, Phil Collins is in it. He plays the cop that comes to the house.
Yeah, terrible
The detective.
cop.
Yeah. There's some special cameos. So we've got like Phil Collins, Glenn Close, David Crosby. I don't know who that is. I haven't looked it up. He's apparently a rock
musician.
legend.
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett, another musician.
Yeah.
Then you've got George Lucas and Carrie Fisher. So the maker of Star Wars, the director of Star Wars, and then you've got the one who plays Princess Leia. In the movie, they play these two people kissing, which you don't really see a close up, so you would never know. It's when Tinkerbell takes Peter Pan back to Neverland.
Oh, and they get they get some pixie dust on them as they're flying over
while they're like sitting on the park bench making out.
George Lucas, that'd be weird for them two to be making out as well.
That's what I thought.
In 91.
Are you sure Gwyneth Paltrow's in this?
Yes. Definitely on IMDb, she's credited. Young Wendy.
What?
Yeah, so that flashback when he first comes after chasing his shadow and he meets young Wendy for the first time.
Oh.
Gwyneth Paltrow. So she would have been pretty young at the time.
Well, shut the front door.
What's funny is when I was going through IMDb trying to find who was playing who and whatnot, and if there was anyone random, so all those pirate wenches are billed as prostitute. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 prostitutes. I don't know why they wouldn't just call them
is this a kids movie?
Pirate wenches. Well, actually, what was it rated? I don't know.
Surely these days it's rated PG.
I would think so. Like
There's
in
no
today's
swearing
standards,
or anything in it.
Yeah,
So-
PG.
Yeah,
Which is, I think,
a kid
is reasonable.
isn't going to know their prosies.
No, exactly.
Yeah, they're just.
But why bill them as that? It's weird.
Should we just start? We open up at Peter's daughter's school.
Yeah.
She's playing. She plays Peter. She's playing Wendy in the stage show.
Yeah.
They've got it as a school play,
Yep.
and the real Peter is sitting in the crowd, taking phone calls from work because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's a big shot lawyer, so
He's not really paying attention. It's funny from the last episode where we're talking about Father of the Year for Havoc.
Yeah.
Same thing with as we open with Peter with Hook.
Yep.
Peter
Must
is
just be
again Father of the Year.
Must be a go-to thing to make good movies.
Yeah.
Actually, the last movie wasn't that great.
No, it was not. So yeah, that was my first note. Father of the Year.
Nice. Yeah. He's got some case thing going on. He then goes on to miss his son's baseball game as well. They fly to England.
Yeah.
To go see Wendy.
I think one of the key things is that Wendy, who's now quite old, her granddaughter Moira is who Peter is married to.
That's yes.
So that's why they're going along. But we also find out that she was the
Wendy.
Not really a foster mum, but she helped orphans find homes.
Yeah.
And so Peter was one of those.
He was a lost kid.
He was a lost kid.
Yeah.
That she helped find a home. And so that's where the connection is. So I think the way that the movie sort of sets it up is that she's known for writing the
Story.
Peter Pan story.
Yeah. So the play that the school was doing.
Yeah.
She wrote I think in it she was saying she tells the story, and one of a neighbor across the road wrote the book.
Oh, I missed that part.
I think that's what it was.
Bit of detail.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so essentially, she told the story.
Yeah.
Got turned into a book.
So
Peter Pan.
Even on the flight, Peter's obviously really stressed about being away. And
I giggled at this because on the flight as well, he's scared shitless of heights.
Yeah.
And it was just like, well, fucking hell, mate. You know you're the real Peter Pan right now.
So yeah, he's got wife Moira, 2 kids, Maggie and Jack.
Yeah. The Bannings.
Yeah, and Jack's trying to wind Peter up, and he's hitting the window with the.
You imagine being on that flight with him doing that?
Be like,
you
control your child.
Yeah, like no, I'm gonna belt. I mean, it's 1991. I'm gonna belt you, mate. I'll whip out the spoon.
So yeah, they arrive into London, and they meet up with. When they first get to Wendy's house, and they, I'm assuming is a housekeeper or something, opens the door, and there's some. Did you hear the Mrs. Doubtfire scream?
No.
We're introduced to Wendy,
Yes.
who's
Very old and frail.
very old. Yeah, so she's Jack's wife's grandmother. So not mother, but grandmother.
Yes.
And yeah, they're getting set
Moira.
up for her to go to a awards ceremony where she's getting presented with. It looks like the wing of was it a hospital or it was a centre for
Yeah,
for
it was
kids?
something like that. Yeah.
Peter gets a call while they're at at Wendy's house that his deal's falling through or something like that. Something about an protected species or something like that is going to be in the way. And
The way he tells the kids to get out.
yeah,
I was like, oh, I don't remember that.
yeah, absolutely cracks it at them.
And he's like, Moira, get the kids out of here.
Yeah. Is this where his phone goes off again and she throws it out the window?
Yeah.
It was interesting because she like sort of shuffled them out, but then she did take a firm stance afterwards.
Yeah. As any wife would, to be honest.
There was a really good line by her, which I was like, oh, that sort of hits hard a bit. So I don't know if you picked up on it. She says when she's trying to settle him down and after he's had a massive go at the kids,
Yeah.
she says, Peter, we have a few special years with our children when they're the ones that want us around, and afterwards we'll be
I did
looking
hear
for
that.
their attention. I was like, oh, that's a cool line.
Yeah, that did hit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. I was like, do I go and wake the kids up? Read them a book? Nah, let them sleep.
No, I got to finish watching Hook and write on my notes.
Yeah, bloody movie goes for 2.5 hours.
Peter, Wendy, and Moira then head off to the event and leave the kids.
This gave me, that little bit there, gave me mad Batman vibes.
Really?
Yeah, because that's like, the mum and dad, like his mum and dad go out.
Get dressed up and are going out. And
Yeah, and then they die.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry if I just ruined Batman for anyone.
Another kind of nice scene where Peter's doing the speech and says something about, we don't have much in common, but we've all been affected by what Wendy's done, and then they all stand up and they're all orphans.
Yeah. Did you realise they were mostly males, I think?
Yeah. They all
So
look
then
like
I
lost
was
boys.
like, did they all come from Neverland?
Yeah, I don't know. I did wonder that.
And that's how she's just like, yeah, here we go. Making money off these boys.
And they come back home after the event to find... Well, we sort of cut to the home first before they come back. And I wrote down, again, that's quite a scary scene if you're a kid watching it.
Yeah, when I was rewatching, I was like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, and maybe some of this stuff just goes over kids' heads a bit. Like, I don't remember being worried about it. And I would have seen this quite young, I think.
Oh, yeah, and I would have seen it multiple times.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It would have been one of those ones on VHS at my grandma's house that every time I went around there, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
That and Back to the Future.
Oh, God, don't get that. I want to do Back to the Future.
We should. We really should. So, yeah, there's like a green light shining through the windows, and then their bed covers fly off, and it's actually quite
And then
terrifying.
at the ceremony that Peter's at, the wind comes through there as well.
Yeah.
And you see Wendy's face.
Yeah, she knows something's gone on. And then when they get home, the first sort of thing that we see are all these like scratch marks and hook marks.
Yeah.
And then there's a note that's impaled into the door with a knife. But essentially it was, we've taken your kids, come and get them, Peter.
Yeah, we're taking your kids, Peter. Come get him.
Signed
Arr.
Captain James Hook.
Yeah.
So clearly being, normal adults, first thing to do was call the cops.
Yeah. In comes Phil Collins.
In comes Phil Collins. Who's not great. He's like, this could just be one of those pranks. And they're like, no, our children are gone. What are you
I thought the same
prank.
thing. Oh, they could just ran away and they might come back.
There's hook marks everywhere in the house and a knife in the door.
With a note that says, we've got your kid.
Yeah.
They weren't stressed enough.
Not enough?
You imagine your kids are been taken.
Yeah.
They're like sitting on the bed. Wendy's starting to talk about like, Peter, like, do you remember who you were? And then she's like, oh, Moira, can you go make a cup of tea? And she's just like she would be the most distraught. The mother of the two children. She's like, yeah, sure, I'll go make tea.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So she goes out the room and that's where, Wendy tries to get to Peter about
who he really is.
Yeah, you've forgotten who you are.
Yeah.
And he has no recollection. I think he says that he can't remember anything before 13 years old. Is that right?
Something like that.
Because I think that's when he...
I was like...
I'm probably the same.
I can't.
I've talked to people, like friends about this before. I have no like childhood memories.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure.
I had a very like okay upbringing. Like I had
Yeah.
no issues that I'm trying to suppress.
Yeah, I don't think I'm trying to
Well,
suppress
maybe
them.
I am. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm terrible at remember. Every now and again, I'll get these like little vivid like recollections of things.
Yeah.
And then it
Like
will
if you
go
go
back to,
somewhere,
it'll all go
and
back
you're
to
like,
blurry.
I remember being here before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, she's trying to get him to remember, but he won't remember. And she's essentially telling him that everything in these stories that she's that are in her book
Are true.
are true and are about him. But no, he doesn't remember it. When does Tink come into it?
Pretty much like next.
Right.
Yeah. Like, is he asleep or something? I can't remember.
He must have been.
Yeah. And then she comes in. She does something like every time you say you don't believe in fairies or something, one dies.
Yeah.
And then she like collapses and falls down little like dollhouse stairs, and then she's like, "You gotta clap
Yeah.
to bring me back to life."
I think we mentioned it earlier. This is Julia Roberts
Yes.
playing Tink.
Yeah.
So yeah, she ends up knocking Peter out,
Yeah.
and then
Puts him in a blanket,
wraps him up and
and then
puts some
flies.
fairy dust on him and flies him away.
And she can deadlift.
Oh yeah, she can carry 300 times her weight maybe.
Yeah. And then so that's when she flies over George Lucas and
Yes.
Princess Leia.
Yeah, I want to have a look back on that and see if you can
Yeah.
actually spot them or if they're like just
I'm
obscured.
pretty sure it was pretty dark.
Yeah, I think they're like in shadow
They probably weren't even.
because it's at night time and
I mean, who knows? My fact could be wrong.
it could be.
Someone's just gone, fuck it, we'll put that in.
I'll believe it.
Yeah.
So Peter wakes up in
Neverland.
but in the pirates.
Yeah. Basically,
Town.
Right where Captain Hook's boat is moored. He looks well out of place.
Oh yeah, he's still in his suit
Yeah.
from the night before. He gets up and
We've all been there.
I think he doesn't want to. Yeah, he doesn't believe anything that he's seeing. Like he's like, oh,
He's still in lawyer mode.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then Tink dresses him up in pirate attire.
Does she?
Yeah, she gets a whole bunch of stuff, and he has like a patch over his eye, and
No, I thought he did that earlier, like later on when he was trying to steal Captain Hook's hook.
no, that's
He does it again.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she because he looks out of place. She's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you need to look the part. And so she
Yeah,
dresses
yeah.
him up. We now enter Captain James Hook. Absolutely, hands down, the best part of this movie is any scene with Hook in it.
Yeah,
Dustin Hoffman does an incredible job.
Yeah, he does. I didn't really think of that back then.
Oh
when we
God,
watched
no,
it.
no.
But yeah, when you look back, it's like,
Yeah,
he does.
him and Smee are just,
Smee!
they're great. And I really remember the carpet being rolled down the stairs.
Yes, I was about to say that.
I don't know why that stuck in my memory
He
so
was about
much.
to walk down. He's like, "Shmee," and he like bangs on it, and his carpet rolls in.
Yeah.
He does it later on as well.
Rolls it back up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So no one can walk on it.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I love that part for some reason. He's talking about how he's telling all of his pirates that he's got Peter Pan's kids and that the war's coming and he's going to defeat
Because
Peter
he
Pan.
promised them. Because it's been like 10 years or no.
No, it's longer.
Well, it's
than
been
that.
longer than that, but it had been 10 years since he'd actually seen Wendy.
Ah, right.
So he,
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Moira says something about you could have
like-
seen her every year for the last 10 years. You've been saying you're going to go and see her.
yeah.
And obviously she was a big part of his life before he was a lawyer.
Yes. Then shows the Peter's kids come out,
Yeah.
and then that's when Peter gets angry.
Well, and then
He's like,
pirate attire
Yeah.
all comes off.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Those are my kids.
So he was wearing it.
He said Hook says that he can have them back. He just needs to climb up the mast and just
Yeah.
grab their hand. And Peter's terrified of heights, so he can't do it.
You can just
but
see
not-
the
not
disappointment
only
in
can't do
Jack's
it,
eyes.
Yeah, but it gives up.
Yeah.
Like doesn't.
Like
he's
I was sitting
too
there going,
scared.
"Oh, don't give up.
Just go.
All you have to do is just jump onto the net and hold onto the net."
Yeah. No, he's too terrified. Hook gets quite disappointed
Yeah.
because he doesn't
Yeah, he-
believe that it's actually Peter Pan.
He's like, "I'm keen for this war,"
Yeah.
and then he's like, "You're
And
not
he
Peter
says,
Pan."
Well, he says, Smee, this isn't Peter Pan. Who is this? And he's got all of his medical records, dental records.
Yeah,
and
and he gets he shows him the scar that
That's right.
Hook gave him, and he's like, "That's my appendix." And then he threatens lawyer talk.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're gonna I'm suing you," basically. I think Hook's like, "Nah, get rid of him.
Kill them all.
Yeah, just kill them all.
Yeah.
Throw him over." And then they put him out. They get the plank out, don't they?
Yeah.
Put him out on the plank, and then Tinkerbell does negotiations with Hook.
Yeah.
And says, give me 3 days.
Or she says, give me 5 days.
Yeah, so she's like, give me a week. I'll make him like, the pan that you want. I'll turn him back into Peter Pan. And then he was like,
2 days or something.
yeah.
Like that.
And she was like,
settled on 3.
yeah. What's his name still falls in the water.
Yeah.
This is the bit I don't remember it.
Talking earlier, before Peter misses Jack's baseball game, there's a whole scene where he's at his workplace and all this stuff. I don't remember any of that stuff. My like memory starting point for this movie is when he's arrives with the Lost Boys.
You know what happened, right?
What?
You've gone, I've already seen this. I'm fast forwarding it to the good bit. When he goes to the Lost Boys and starts his training, that's where you.
I wonder whether I probably did as a kid.
I probably did.
Like,
This is boring.
Yeah, this is all rubbish. Bit.
This is let's get to the good bit.
Yeah. So there's all that stuff that I had no recollection of. And like you said, I feel like I vaguely recall when the kids are in the net and Peter first arrives to
I remember
Hook.
that.
But yeah, I don't remember the next bit. So he falls off the plank after
Into the water,
Tink and Hook come to an agreement. Then Peter falls off the plank, goes down into the water and is like drowning because he's all tied up.
Yeah.
And then three mermaids come out of nowhere
and just start breathing for him.
Yeah.
Just sucking face with him.
Yeah.
Like 3 of them at different times. And I was like, I don't remember any of this.
No,
and then this is
I wrote down, I don't remember a random mermaid orgy.
Before this was like a few minutes early. This was sort of when I was like, oh, maybe like, I could get, I was asking my wife, like, do you reckon the oldest could watch this?
Yeah.
And then it came on and I've like turned my phone. I was like, I don't think he can watch this. And she's just like, what the fuck? What is going on?
Yeah, it's a random little sequence. So yeah, mermaids happen.
Fit.
And then I think they usher him over to a giant clam, and then that brings them up to like where the Lost Boys. No, it brings them up to snow and penguins. He does like a roll down a snowy hill.
Oh yeah, he does.
And it's penguins, and I think he even says like, "Oh, snow." It was really,
I mean, it is Neverland. Obviously,
anything could happen.
It's make believe. Like,
but yeah, so then he arrives at the Lost Boys hideout,
which is a giant tree. Oh. Fun fact, by the way.
Yeah.
So when we come into the scene of them riding on the roller coaster thing and everything.
Yeah.
All that was legit. They made that. So and then
that
apparently
so cool.
Yeah. Apparently all the kids on stage, like on the scene, they love playing on it.
So when he arrives, there's a massive flurry of excitement for Peter Pan being back.
Here.
And all the Lost Boys.
That's
gather.
right. They're all asleep.
Yeah.
And they're all waking up. Yeah. And then they all huddle down into the bottom of this tree.
Yeah,
and Peter Pan's
the same disappointment that Hook had when he saw who Peter actually was now.
Yeah,
was the same disappointment in those Lost Boys' eyes.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're thinking,
we're getting to the good bit.
This can't be actually Peter Pan. Then we hear the was there some drumming or something?
Yeah, and some crowing.
Yeah,
he crows, doesn't he?
Yeah. But that was good. I wasn't even going to attempt it.
Nah, I got to. You didn't crow back when you did it?
Probably.
You running around the house with like a sword?
So in comes Rufio, who used to be my absolute favourite.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love it. So he comes in on like a skateboard with like a sail on it, and he's riding around this roller coaster track.
So that's the thing that's all like rideable apparently on set.
Well, it looks like it because even the track you can see there's like a center channel that the thing would be attached to.
Yeah.
And so he's riding his scooter around this thing.
I swear back when we watched that though, we'll be like, oh, look at him go. And now you look at it, it's like clunk, clunk, clunk.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of like, that's not quite how I remember it, but
Spielberg knew how to hit the young age.
So the Lost Boys then, when Rufio comes in, they don't believe that it's Peter Pan except for one.
Yeah, so Rufio gets Peter. He's got Pan's sword now.
Yep.
He's like, I'm the Pan.
Which is something about the sword that I love as well.
Oh, it's such a nice sword.
I don't know what it is, but again, like stuck in my memory. Like if I just seen that sword out of context and someone was just like, "What's this sword from?" I'd be like, "That's Pan's sword."
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah. And so he draws a line in the dirt, and he's like, because Pan's on the other side, and Rufio, and then all the kids run over to Rufio except the one kid, who basically inspects Peter, and he's like, playing with his face and everything, and like, because he's all wrinkly, he's like, pulls all the wrinkles back, and then and he's like, "It is you."
Yeah. Oh, there you are, Peter.
Oh, there you are, Peter. How cool is the little fat kid?
Oh, he's the best.
He was my favourite.
Yeah.
And then when he puts, like later on when he puts
I
on
know.
the, yeah.
It's such a good bit.
That was my favourite bit when they was loading up for the big fight.
Yeah. So then we go quite a weird scene in retrospect. Now we go back to Hook and Smee on the pirate ship, and this is where Hook is all depressed because Peter's not who he thought he was going to be.
This is where I was like, definitely can't be watching this with the kids.
Yeah. So he's like, life's not worth living anymore.
Yeah. He's obviously, because he's like, Peter Pan's not gonna be Peter Pan anymore.
And he says something like, all I ever do is kill lost boys and Indians, and which you actually don't hear anything about. That's a big part of the original. We'll talk about it a bit later when I talk about the older ones.
Yeah, you looked it all up.
But he grabs a gun, puts a gun to his head, and don't try and stop me this time, Smee. Don't try and stop me.
You better stop me, Smee.
I remember that scene.
Yeah, I remember that when it started.
I'm sure I wouldn't have completely understood what
Definitely
it was
would
about.
have been like, what's he doing?
Yeah, I just thought it would have been weird. So then we cut back to the training montage. So this is where the film in my head starts for me, is when they're at the training montage trying to get Peter to remember and trying to get him to become. So he's sort of accepted that he needs to become Pan to save his kids and to fly, but he's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
So they've got him, running laps and
yeah, they're trying to get him
sorts.
fit.
Yeah,
which is not going to happen in 3 days, but give it a crack.
Oh, and I think that's the first time that we hear the word bangarang as well during that bit.
Bangarang.
I think it's a bangarang old man. I didn't realize how much it was used in the show, in the movie as well.
Yeah, it was like their word
yeah.
for that. That's awesome, basically, wasn't it?
There's
bangarang.
There's a bit of back and forward cutting between the training montage and then back to Hook and Peter's kids.
Yeah, so
mainly Jack.
Yeah, it's just Jack. Maggie's not really in it.
Nah.
She's in it like the start and the end.
Yeah,
pretty much it.
She just wants her mum.
Yeah, but Jack, obviously, because he doesn't like his dad.
Yeah,
or he's like,
into that. Yeah,
his dad didn't go to his game like an important game of baseball. Instead, sent someone to record it.
Yeah,
that was funny. And then couldn't like touch him when he was holding onto the thing in the net.
Yeah,
so he's losing all hope for his dad.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
Hook's trying to convince Peter's kids that they should hate their parents.
Hate the parents, but love Hook. And he's going to be their new daddy.
Now, then we go back to the Lost Boys again, and we talked about earlier, this is one of our favourite scenes when they're sitting down to have their dinner.
Yes.
And so Peter's starving. He's been running laps around, Lost Boy Central for the last...
Yeah.
I don't know how much time has passed in this, but...
Well, does time pass? Because they don't get older.
It must do if they're given 3 days.
Yeah, but days pass, but they don't get older.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how.
So, Peter's starving and he can see all the kids bringing out these like steaming pots.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, what's starving?
Shit, yeah. And just before that, doesn't Hook have a massive feed?
Yeah, he does.
He's got like all this legs of lamb or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Pork or whatever. Yeah.
And so they bring it out and they open the lids and it's empty.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Yeah. And all and all the kids are just like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And back then you're like, oh, they're really eating something. But now you look at it that. You're like, definitely fake.
Yeah.
It's not real.
What sparks it? What sparks the argument between him and Rufio?
Oh, I can't remember what sparks the argument.
Yeah. But they get into a name calling match.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So Rufio starts it.
I should have written down
some of their... I know. There's some good ones.
They said some funny ones.
Yeah.
Because that's when they were like, bangarang.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Every time,
whenever someone gets a good one.
Yeah. Whoever's the best one, they'd be like, oh, bangarang, Peter.
Yeah. So, they're back and forward. Peter's doing a terrible job. Rufio's killing him.
Yeah.
And then slowly, Peter starts to come up with some good ones. And then
he basically shuts him down.
Yeah. Cuts through something.
Yeah.
And that's what starts it.
And then because he then puts his one last thing, Rufio or whatever, and he gets it and he goes, flicks this spoon that he doesn't think's anything on it. And then that's when... Because he starts using his imagination.
I love that transition, of him picking up the spoon with nothing, and then you skip to Rufio's face getting splattered with something.
Yeah.
The the bright colours as well.
Yeah. So I was like, what are they eating?
Yeah, it
my
looks like-
whole
looks
life,
like
I'm like,
Play-Doh.
yeah, I'm like, what are you eating? I want that. And then
Yeah.
that's what reminded me of this. I was like, are they just eating ice cream?
Yeah. So then there's a bit of a food fight.
And then, all the food comes alive.
Yeah.
You're doing it,
It's
Peter.
everywhere.
I think that's what one of them says. Or
Yeah.
is that when he learns to fly? One of them says something like that.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they're like, you're
Oh
doing
that is the food bit.
Yeah. You're doing it, Peter.
So yeah, have the food fight, and then again, there's quite a few transitions back and forth. So now we're back with with Hook, and it's the clock scene. So
That's right. So Jack's asleep on a couch.
And so is Hook.
And Hook, yeah.
Yeah.
And because Hook doesn't like clocks.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, a crocodile or something.
yeah,
Clocks
it's,
and
again,
Crocs.
there is like a lot of references that aren't explained from
Yeah.
the earlier. So you do have to have an understanding of like the earlier movies for quite a bit of it. Even like just knowing who Wendy is and how all that comes about. Peter had given Jack a pocket watch.
Yeah, that's right. Because just before they went out for the Wendy's night thing, he was like, "You're the man of the house now. This is my favorite watch, or the watch my dad gave me, or something." Got it.
While Hook is sleeping, he's sort of awoken by the sound of it ticking.
Yeah. Jack's sniggering away.
Yeah,
'Cause he works out it's his little watch.
Yeah, so then
and his little moustache is going. Hook's moustache.
Yeah. Is it the moustache? And his eyebrows are also twirled up as well, like his moustache. I can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember.
I think so. So yeah, he takes Jack over to his. He called it something. Was it like a museum or something like that? But where he has all these broken clocks.
Yeah, he smashes them all.
Gets him to smash his dad's watch as well.
Yeah.
And he's really getting that hatred to sink in.
Yeah, because he starts saying things like, "This is for missing my game."
Yeah.
And then he starts smashing all the other ones.
And then we have the pirate baseball game,
Yeah.
which is such a random.
They do this to win Jack over.
Yeah.
So everything's based around Jack on this.
And interestingly, and I don't think I picked this up as a kid, but you see Jack starting to forget about his parents as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just a mere thing of him not wanting to go home. It's that, and I think that happens to everyone in Neverland, and obviously vice versa. Once you leave Neverland, you start to forget about. But yeah, so Jack actually starts to forget about his parents the further and further.
Well, Wendy never forgot.
No, and that's interesting. I don't know why.
Yeah. But yeah, he did start to obviously, he's not caring for his dad at least anyway.
Yeah.
And then he starts playing this baseball game. He's dressed up like. Oh no, that's later on. He's dressed up by Hook.
And it's funny because the Pirates have obviously never played baseball before. They're just going off the rules that Jack has told him.
Yeah.
And one of the Pirates is trying to steal base and gets shot. And they're like, whoa, chill out.
Yeah. Captain Hook's like, Schmee, no, Schmee.
Bad form. Again, I love all the scenes with Hook in it. It's just so good. And then there's a cheer squad all holding up banners that, but they've got him in the wrong order.
Run home, Jack. And then that's when you sort of see him go, oh.
He starts to remember. Yeah.
And then again, Hook's like, no.
Quickly shuts it down.
Yeah. And they're like, oh.
Home run, Jack.
It's like typical pirates, though, in everything you watch. They're like all stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because they can't do anything else but be pirates.
Yeah. I'm the captain.
So in the meantime, while the baseball game's going on, we've got the Lost Boys sneaking into the game. So they're on top of each other's shoulders.
Yeah.
As
dressed up as pirates.
they walk in.
They're trying to steal Hook's hook.
Yeah. I don't know what the reason was.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just
and
to
this is sort of like you can tell Peter has sort of forgotten as well because he's really he's into it.
Yeah.
He's like, let's go get his hook. He didn't really think about his kids again. He's obviously not. And then he sees Jack playing, and then he's like, oh.
Sparks his memory,
and
he's
then,
like, oh, I'm supposed to be saving my kids.
Yeah.
They're just about. He's just about to steal the hook, and then he's watching his son play, and then his son hits a home run.
You're not the curveball.
Yeah.
You can't hit the curveball.
Him and Hook at the same time. Or maybe Hook says it first. He's like, that's my boy.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's my boy.
Yeah. He slogs this thing way out of into space.
And then he doesn't end up getting the hook.
No. He just packs up and leave.
Yeah.
And then he gets hit by the ball.
That's right.
So he's back at, he's feeling depressed. Because he's like, oh.
He's obviously done a good hit for it then to just be coming down.
And then, he gets knocked out or hit by this ball and it knocks him out into Does he fall down somewhere?
No, I think it's just near where he's hanging about.
Oh, no, it's near his old house.
A little pond there.
I think it's his house.
And he sees a reflection of his younger self.
Yeah.
And sort of sparking a bit of a memory. And then he remembers that there's like a tree around there.
Yeah, which I think that was his house.
It was Wendy's house.
Oh, Wendy's.
When she lived there.
Yeah.
So again, you don't really hear much about it in this movie. I think she might have mentioned her brothers, but the whole story is her and
about
her...
Toodles?
Yeah, I know, he's cool.
Yeah, he's lost his marbles.
Yeah. Oh, we can touch on him at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, her and her brothers all come to the to Neverland.
Yeah.
And that's their names that's on the tree as well. I think it's like Michael and John or something like that.
Yeah.
And Wendy, but it's all been burnt out. And this is where he sees Tink again. She's in there.
I think this is when she's like, you need to have your like
happy thought.
Yeah, that's it. Your happiest thought, Peter.
Yeah. So he starts to remember. He has a flashback, and then
was that a flashback of his dad or something, or his mum?
His mum.
Yeah.
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 And then his happy thought is of him being a dad.
Yes.
That was his happy thought.
Yeah.
And then we have a nice flying montage.
Oh.
And it's actually like cool flying.
Do you know, I have this weird thing. So when he did the flying thing, I thought he flew up. Is it part of the story he flew up into the sun and that burnt his clothes?
Ah.
Just getting...
Is that how you filled in the gap of like, how did he get changed into the green clothes?
Yeah. I had this... I didn't... like, before it happened, I was like, that's right. He changes clothes, but I didn't think he changed into the green clothes and like the full outfit. I thought he flew up and, he flew too close to the sun or something and he got burnt. Like his clothes burnt and they all came shredded and stuff.
Nah, that is not what happened.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck I was thinking.
It just one scene he's wearing his suit. No, he's wearing...
Yeah,
he's wearing his suit still?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's wearing his Peter Pan clothes.
Yeah.
It's not really...
Yeah, they just switched it, didn't
That's
they? Like,
it,
he flew,
yeah.
like he got changed up in the sky.
Yeah.
He flew like silhouette and then back down he was in Peter Pan clothes. Oh, fun fact. Apparently he was wearing a wig.
Oh.
Like during when his hair was all like smooth and Peter Banning.
Lawyer
so
Peter.
he grew it out because it's like all spiky and like
Peter Pan.
raggedy. Yeah.
So yeah, he does some really cool flying. He plays some basketball. And he's back to being Peter Pan, and then there's like this standoff with him and Rufio.
Well, he cuts Rufio's pants down, doesn't he?
Yeah.
As he's flying around.
He does. He lifts them up and he's looking all angry and he's coming over to Peter with his sword out, but then goes straight to his knees and hands him the sword.
He's like, "You're the Peter now."
Yeah. He says,
"You're the Pan."
What does he say? He says, you can fly, you can you can fight, but can you? And then that's where we hear the first crow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, getting tingles.
Yeah.
Could just be the beer.
I had a thought, like, because I think Peter, he can fly because Tink taught him to fly, but he still needs the fairy dust and he needs the happy thought. I'm like, why
does he need the fairy dust?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she make everyone fly?
That was why I know. It's like, why don't the other Lost Boys get to fly as well?
Yeah.
Is it because none of them have happy thoughts? I don't know.
Well, they're all Lost Boys. So.
Why hasn't Tink taught the other kids to fly?
Peter was a Lost Boy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was he... So are Lost Boys born in Neverland or how did they get there?
I think they... Yeah. I don't know how it's actually explained in the original stories, but yeah, they're essentially...
And why are they all boys?
Yeah, I don't know. We had this weird scene with Tink. So she
makes herself large.
She makes herself into like a proper person.
Yeah.
And I think she said something like, "This is the only wish I ever wished for myself was to be a big person, so that she can kiss Peter." And again, it's not really. You can sort of see that she loves Peter, but it's not really explained unless, again, you know the previous stories.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Tink's always loved Peter.
I was just like, far out. Peter's had like 4 women in the space of an hour and a half.
Yeah. So she kisses him, and then promptly turns back into a fairy. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that bit.
Yeah, it was a bit strange.
Well, doesn't he shut her down?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's like, Moira. Yeah. Moira.
And then...
Just reminds me, did you watch Schitt's Creek?
Yes.
With Moira?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's funny.
So then the Lost Boys start getting ready for war.
Yeah, it's my favourite bit because they like...
Loading up.
Yeah, and they just got they just jumped through like looks like bamboo.
Yeah.
And they've all got armor on. And
Yeah, it's like, I think like they've got, these bamboo strips like inside of spider webs.
Yeah.
And so they jump through it and then they're all suited up.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And then they got little Gatling guns that they made with.
Yeah.
And what do they shoot paintballs or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where we cut back, and it's now Jack is now dressed as Hook. I think he was about to pierce his ear.
Yes, he was.
He's like,
was it like with a hook
this
or
is
something? Yeah.
really gonna hurt or something like that.
Yeah.
Peter arrives to take his son back, and he cuts the hole in the sail, like in the shape of. But did you notice that it had like the little arm? So he's standing with his hands on his hips.
Yeah.
And the cutout has the little arm triangles cut out as well.
Yeah. And then did you see what it looked like when they went back up?
It's just one big like circle.
Yeah.
Like
it was
oval.
like it looked like a gingerbread man.
And then Hook is like stoked that the real Peter Pan is there.
Yeah.
And he's ready for to fight. So yeah, then we do have a big fight, and
there's a bunch of fighting going on between the Lost Boys and the pirates.
But it's really weird. Like the Lost Boys earlier on talked about how they kill pirates all the time and stuff, and the pirates talked about how they kill Lost Boys and that they're always fighting. But the Lost Boys are just using like tomatoes and paintballs and
I didn't get that.
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
I mean, again, family movie, but there's no.
The only one that has a sword was like Rufio.
Yeah,
and Peter Pan.
I've got Lost Boys using just tomatoes and shit. And then the Rufio is the only one that he's actually knifing pirates.
Yeah,
like he takes a few down, like slashes a few with his sword.
Yeah.
And then this is where we have a Hook and Rufio fight.
The looky, I got a hooky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny, like these little bits that just stay in your mind.
And it reminds me because the boys turning out their night lights.
Yeah.
And the last one's like, "Good night, Neverland." I still say that. I said that out my window. I have a memory of it. I did it like a year ago.
Right.
And I was standing there. I was like, close the curtains. I had the window open. I was like, "Good night, Neverland." And I just like shut the curtain. My wife was like, "What are you doing?" I was like,
"Did you not know Hook?"
Yeah, just a staple.
So then I think Peter, Hook and Rufio are fighting, and then Peter's like, "No, it's my fight." But then Maggie is screaming out, needing help. Yeah. So he goes after her. So he leaves Rufio and Hook fighting, and Rufio's doing pretty well, but eventually Hook gets him. Yep. So
knocks him out, kills him.
I'm sure I do remember, but going into the movie, one of the things in my mind was not that Rufio dies. I forgot that Rufio dies.
I didn't think that either. Do you know? I don't think Rufio's in it at all. I think he's made up just for this movie.
Oh, you mean in the original?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
I didn't look that up actually.
I think he ended up becoming a fan favorite.
Yeah.
And I think did they make a movie on him, like an adaptation of.
Oh, I did look up like other Peter Pan associated movies, like how many times have they adapted it. I don't remember seeing like there's a Wendy one, and maybe
there was a Rufio one.
Okay, it might not have been in the title because I was only looking at the titles of the movies.
Yeah,
so one of them could have been about Rufio. I'm not sure.
Because he was definitely a favorite.
So obviously Peter is very upset about Rufio being killed.
Yeah, even though he didn't like him.
Oh,
but they became friends.
They became friends. Yeah. So yeah, Pan
and Peter is like 50.
Pan
and Rufio is like 16.
They a big fight ensues. There's a couple of back and forward moments where Peter is winning and sort of lets. At one point, he just gives him his sword back. I'm like, okay, that's
strange. He's like, I want it. Doesn't he? Like, he wants it to be a fair fight.
Yeah. So then they continue fighting, and eventually he sort of gets him on his knees and tells him that he wants him to never come back to Neverland again, stow his ships away and never come back.
Yeah. He wasn't going to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Hook pulls out a secret sword. Now, that sword is far too long to have been up his sleeve the whole time. He would have been moving around with his arm extended out. It wasn't a little knife.
Yeah.
So yeah, pulls another sword, gets into a last little bit of a fight with his hook, scratches Peter across the arm.
Yes.
So then they're fighting in front of the crocodile statue, which is
the croc clock.
The croc clock. Hook had captured the crocodile that ate his arm, his hand, and turned it into a statue.
Yeah.
But then, Peter sort of grabs his hook, plants it into the statue.
I didn't understand the gas escaping.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like, and it was like it came alive.
Yeah.
And then, basically just fell over.
Falls on top of him. The mouth falls directly over Hook.
Yeah.
And then
he disappears.
Hook just disappears.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Neverland.
At this point, I was like, oh, is there going to be a Hook too?
Yeah. So no more Hook.
Yep. No, he's gone. Dunskies.
Then, we're getting the kids home.
Yeah.
So
it's got here Peter chooses to return to his family instead of staying in Neverland.
Yep. He sort of forgets.
Yeah.
Like he's killed Hook and then he remembers that he's actually got to leave Neverland. Yeah, it's interesting the way that Neverland works and makes them forget about the outside world. So the kids fly home, and while Tinkerbell is taking the kids back to London, Hook addresses the Lost Boys and says that they need a new leader while he's going to be gone.
Yeah, Peter Pan does.
What did I say?
Hook.
Oh, no. Hook's gone.
Yeah.
We covered that.
Yeah. I mean, it could be the beers talking. I don't know.
Yeah. He decides to... Now, I've got his name down. I went back like 3 times and I still couldn't quite grasp what Peter was saying in terms of the name of the character is. Oh, yeah, we missed about all the rolling of the big kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he rolls down.
He's like a cannonball.
Yeah, he puts his legs up like...
Thud, I think his name is.
It could be because their boys are all named like weird names.
Yeah.
Yeah. He probably is Thud.
So, yeah, I think it's Thud. So he ends up leaving him in charge. He's pretty stoked. He gets the
That's
pan.
the little one, isn't it?
No, it's the big guy.
Oh, it is. So that is Thud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Big kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leaves him, the cannonball kid.
Yeah.
Leaves him in charge. And then we're back at Wendy's house, and the kids come in through the window, and their mum's distressed. But what do? Oh, well, let's let her sleep. We'll just go to bed.
Yeah, no, we haven't seen Mum in ages, but we're just sneaking to bed to scare the shit out of her.
Yeah. So she wakes up and she like looks at them and like she assumes that she's like imagining it. And Wendy comes in, and she's like, oh, I keep thinking that they're there, and then they sort of like
they flip the covers.
We are here.
Like, give Wendy a heart attack.
Yeah. And then I didn't remember that they sort of explained it sort of in the end. So anyway, we cut to Peter and he's like lying down outside. This part didn't make sense to me. So
is it to make him think he dreamt it all?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because is he getting the phone? It's like time didn't pass.
So he wakes up. He's outside where the dog is.
Yeah, in the snow.
In the snow. And someone's cleaning up bottles.
It's Smee.
It's Smee.
Yeah.
Why is Smee there?
I don't know. Is it to make him think, it's a...
Yeah, that one I should have looked up because that confused me. Anyway, so then he can't get in. He's got his phone. And
because Smee escaped.
Oh, he did too.
But then he obviously wouldn't go be like, hey, Peter.
Yeah. So, he climbs up the drain pipe into the window. And they all have a big family reunion.
Yeah, but he's like, what did I tell you about this window?
Yeah.
And then, because earlier on in the movie, he was like, don't go near the window, keep it shut.
Yeah.
But then he was like, always leave this window open.
Yeah.
And so Peter's now got a new perspective on life.
Yeah. And so Toodles, who was at Wendy's house and clearly lost his marbles.
And clearly looked like he'd lost his marbles.
Yeah. So Peter had found his marbles when he was in Neverland. He's brought them back to him, and
one of the Lost Boys gave it to him.
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, here's Toodles' marbles."
Yeah,
he's lost them.
So
and then he was like, "Oh, he really did lose his marbles."
So he gives them back to him, and that was his happy thought.
Yeah.
So this is weird.
Was
there fairy dust in the air? Was there?
No, in the bag of marbles.
Oh, there was some fairy dust.
Because I think the marbles came out, and then he was like, "Oh."
I see.
Then,
So then he's flying about the place. Yeah, I don't remember that the whole family sort of saw that.
Nah.
So I always thought it sort of left it like it could have been a dream.
Yeah.
But no, Toodles is flying. So clearly it all happened. And now, now Maura's seen it as well.
Yeah.
So she's got a bit of catching up to do. What did you think?
I still loved it.
Like, it's obviously got flaws.
Now when you're older, you can see it. It's like, oh, geez, those special effects are a bit shit.
But my God, like, so much of it I just remembered like beat for beat, especially that, you know, once he arrives into Neverland with the Lost Boys.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Yeah, it was, I definitely enjoyed watching it again. I haven't watched it for years.
A couple of weird things. So, like, when he has that flashback, so he flashes back to when he's a baby in a pram with his mum, who's having a chat on the bench with one of her friends, talking about how he's going to become a judge and he'll go to the best schools and he's going to have the best life. And then the pram, it sort of is on a bit of an incline, so it starts rolling down the hill.
Well, there's like a gust of wind or something.
Yeah. So that's how Peter became lost and became an orphan. But in the voiceover, he's talking about how he heard that he had to grow up and his mum was talking about all this stuff. And so he ran away. I'm like, that doesn't match what happened. He didn't run away. He was a baby in a... Did he move the pram?
Unless he caused the gust of wind to release the brake.
Yeah.
Because the brake gets released.
And then he's just like lying on the ground
in the
rain.
How'd you get lost? Because you just went down the hill. Like, did they not go, oh shit, he's gone?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So yeah, in that sort of flashback, we didn't go into it before, but then after Tink has taken him to Neverland and he's gotten a bit older. But again, so she would have taken him to Neverland when he was a baby. And you're not supposed to age in Neverland. But then he becomes a teenager.
Yeah.
So maybe it's they age to
Tink find him a home?
Wendy finds him a home.
The only reason I thought he kept aging was because he kept coming back.
Maybe that's what it was, or maybe they only age up to a certain point. But yeah, so that was strange. The voiceover didn't quite match what was actually going on there.
Yeah.
But no, I loved it. So interestingly, I didn't until I started looking at it. I always thought that this was, you know, a really well regarded like family movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, one of the first things I Googled, like, when, you know, the autocomplete stuff in Google, I was typing in Hook, and it's like, one of the things was, why is Hook, like, so hated by critics? I'm like, was it? I looked it up. What do you think it's got on Rotten Tomatoes? So, again, remember last week, so there's the critic score and the viewer score. So, what do you think critics rated it?
Ooh, like an 8.5.
So, you reckon 85?
Yeah.
29.
What?
29% critic score. The viewer score is much better, obviously. What do you think viewer score?
Oh, yeah. That's got to be like in the 90s. Everyone loved it.
Still not that, like, still it's good, but it's not great. 76%.
What?
Yeah. So I was reading some comments and things like that as to why. And yeah, I think mostly it's quite a long movie. So it's 2 hours and I think not including credits, it's probably about 2 hours and 10, would you say?
Yeah.
It's over 2 hours.
Yeah, it's over 2 hours. It's like 2 hours 20.
And the middle section does go on for a bit, and you know, like the baseball scene and that sort of back and forward is probably a bit filler. But yeah, I when I saw the score, I was like, this doesn't reconcile with me remembering it from childhood.
Even like,
had you seen it like in recent years or
no? I can't remember the last time I'd seen it.
I can't either, but I reckon it wouldn't have been.
But I remember I pulled
like
up
16, maybe.
I pulled up the trailer at the end of the last episode, like when we were leaving.
Oh yeah,
because we were like, yeah, well, let's do Hook, and I got all excited. And I was like, oh, it was like a 2.5 minute trailer, and I was like, oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon the last time I saw it, it would have been like before I was 16. I might have caught it on snippets on when we used to watch free to air TV, but
yeah, it'd be on occasionally, wouldn't it?
Going into a little bit of the history of Peter Pan. So it started off as a stage show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was actually a stage show before it was a novel. Oh. So J.M. Barrie's...
not J.K. Rowling?
Yeah, exactly. Created the play in 1904.
Wow.
Yep. And then wrote a novel for it for print in 1911.
Do you reckon Neverland's real?
For sure.
Like, are these real stories that just now become fantasies?
Like any of those old fables and things like that.
Yeah.
So then Disney acquired the rights like in the 30s.
Oh.
But
Fuck, you really have gone into
Yeah.
detail.
I was interested. I was like, how did it
Yeah.
get to... but the movie didn't come out until 1953. Can you guess why? So they acquired the rights in the 30s.
I don't know. Black and white colour TV?
Nah, war.
Oh.
So the studio that had it were directed by the US government to stop producing films and
okay.
focus on like war propaganda stuff and training videos and things like that. So
Oh,
it
right.
got put in the shelf until 1953 when they created
Well,
it.
war's over. So what do we do?
That was the animated, like the first one was a Disney animated picture.
Yeah, okay.
And Disney did you know Disney did a sequel animated film for it?
No.
Came out in 2002
Oh.
called Return to Neverland. I've never seen it, so I don't know what that one's about. But so that's the
Yeah.
follow-up. That's a proper Disney follow-up to the original Disney.
Oh, wow.
There's been a ton of adaptations that most of them I've never heard of. A lot of them like direct to TV and
Well, just before,
things like
didn't
that.
you say there's going to be a Hook 2 coming out?
No, I just saw Hook.
Oh,
So
oh,
I
that's
think
right.
it's a slasher or something like that. There is a horror MA rated Peter Pan movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
Nightmare in Neverland or something like that.
just Jason.
Yeah, it seems
rock
like
up.
something like that. Hey?
Yeah.
So yeah, bunch of live action stuff. There was actually, I think there was a decently reviewed live action in something fairly recent, and then there was another live action in 2023 apparently.
Huh.
Yeah. So there is a ton of them. Like I didn't write them all down, but yeah, quite a few adaptations. Which I mean, based on the source material, you sort of expect that to have like everyone's having a crack at it.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be another one too.
But yeah, I could not believe
It's like Robin Hood.
how low the critic score was. This isn't a Peter Pan remake of the original source.
No.
This is a new way of thinking about it because essentially what it was is that Peter Pan was in Neverland, obviously got there. I don't know how he got there.
Yeah.
Got there somehow. But he would come to London. There's a whole thing about him losing his shadow. So he was chasing his shadow, trying to find his shadow.
Yeah.
And that's where he first meets Wendy. I think Wendy's dad tells her that she has to grow up and stuff like that. And so when Peter says, you don't have to grow up in Neverland, her and her brothers then come with Peter back to Neverland and stay there for quite a while. And then eventually, I can't remember why, she decides to go back to...
She wanted kids, didn't she? Didn't she say that in the movie?
In the movie she does, but I don't think that's explicit in the original Pan movie. I think what it was is, she has a... Tinkerbell gets jealous of her.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And sort of sets her up to be captured by Hook. And there's a whole thing about Indians, like Native Americans, which, that gets a lot of backlash now. But that's Disney in the 50s.
Yeah.
So much so that like there's a whole Tiger Lily character in there and the chief of some Indian clan. I don't know if that's the right word. And yeah, probably not. Apologies. Anyway, so they end up saving Tiger Lily. The chief is super happy with Peter, and Wendy is released and all this sort of stuff. All that happens. So what they sort of lead on to in the Hook movie is that Wendy comes back. Peter keeps visiting her, but she keeps aging.
Yeah.
And the last time that he meets her, she's an old woman, and then she says, "I'm an old woman. I've even got a granddaughter," and that's where he meets Moira.
Isn't she like 13 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So he meets her, wants to give her a kiss. A bit of a random scene.
Yeah, because there's something
weird.
about a thimble.
Yeah, again from the original.
Yeah.
From the original movie.
But he's like, no, a real kiss.
Yeah, and then
Well,
that's
can't
when
just go around kissing around
that's
girls.
when he decides that he wants to stay.
Yeah.
And that's how we get to there. But thinking about it, Peter as an adult, he's depicted as being in his 40s,
Yeah, something like that.
late 40s, I think.
I mean, he's got two kids that are around, 8 or 9, 10.
But really, he's super old. So if Wendy is now like, how old? It's like 80, I think she's supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah.
So he's at least 80 plus 4, like then that time. So he's he's real old.
Yeah.
And doesn't realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All in all, I think great movie.
Yeah. Still a classic
I think the
for me.
fact that we grew up with it is probably.
We didn't grow up, like it was already out.
It was true.
Like,
But
how
we
old do you
clearly clearly started watching it from. I'd love to know.
That's the classic. You know, you go to Blockbuster,
Yeah.
and that's a weekly movie, and every time you're like, oh, I like this one. It's long, so it keeps me occupied. No, the mum's probably like, oh, it keeps him occupied 2.5 hours. Get that one. Yeah.
Do you remember that with so you used to do. Depends on how much you pay, but you get a deal. You got like 1 or 2 new releases, and then you could get like multiple weekly movies.
Yeah.
But what a pain for the parents, because they'd be going to Blockbuster. They'd have to go back within
overnighter.
What is it? 1 or 2. It was overnight.
There's
was it?
overnighters.
Yeah. It was 1 or 2 days.
They're the new releases, like, you know, just onto
So then you got to
VHS.
go back, return those ones, but then you got the other ones that you can keep for a week.
Yeah.
And then so in the week's time, you go back again. But I feel like we used to probably go there once a week or once a fortnight.
How good were video shops?
Yeah.
Like, I actually miss going to the video shop. Like, you can get everything.
I'm surprised they died
Games
as
as well.
early as they did, because they died well before like streaming was established. Like they obviously died a proper death, but in Australia anyway, like I feel like they died way before Netflix and stuff came out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know why.
Remember the one at Cove? Did you go there?
Used to go there all the time.
Yeah.
So there was the one at Cove again for
Cove
all those
Corner
local
one.
listeners.
Yeah.
The
one on the corner
Cove
where the
Corner.
dentist is now, I think.
And then eventually moved over to where like
Well, then the one where the ex-convenience is,
yeah.
that's the Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be Blockbuster.
Oh, what did it used to be called on Cove Corner?
I think it was called Cove Corner.
Oh, right.
I think that's why we call it Cove Corner.
Oh.
I think it was like Cove Corner Video or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was great. Yeah, getting
God.
games for my Nintendo 64.
Yeah. There was one in Trott Park, because I used to live in Chido Park back when I was younger. And I even hired like a Sega Mega System or something. Sega Master System.
Hide the whole console.
Yeah. And it was
I
like,
probably would have done that as well.
I remember it because I had coins. Like,
Yeah.
5-cent pieces.
Yeah.
And I was like, Mum, I got enough. It was only like, $6 or something.
Yeah.
And and I think Mum was like, yeah, I'll just pay for it.
Yeah, I reckon I would have hired like Sega Mega Drive games.
I used to hire the Nintendo 64 games as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God. Bring it back. Our kids don't know what they're missing out on.
Yeah. And like that whole thing of like having to make that decision and then you're like stuck with those weeklies.
The amount of time you'd spend, like
walking up and down those aisles trying to
and you just
decide.
got like a couple in your hands. And then if it wasn't there, you're like, because they got the cover and it's got to have one behind it and you got to grab that one.
Yep.
And you're like, damn it, it's not there. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then did you ever walk past the naughty section?
All the time.
Imagine
Like,
now though.
just pretending that I was like trying to get to like...
Yeah. Oh, I just need to go to the kids section. Boobies. But yeah, you imagine as an adult though, because obviously we weren't, going and like going, can I hire this one? And the dude just going by, so a night in Paris? Yes, you sure can.
Yeah. Put it against your record.
Yeah. It says here you've
Can I hire this in incognito?
Oh, God. Those were the days, though.
Yeah. And they used to be the snacks, so you'd get like Maltesers or something if you're lucky.
Yeah.
If you badger your mum enough.
Yeah. Or a big bag of popcorn.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, everything's just on your phone at a touch.
Yeah.
Like Hook, I watched the whole movie on my phone because I couldn't be bothered going to the lounge room. I was like, I'm in bed.
Yeah.
While I was watching laptop, I'll put it on my phone.
What are we going to do next week?
I don't know, because we're going away.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to...
Horsham.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to Mount Gambier tomorrow.
Not quite over the border, but you're halfway there.
Yeah, I'm getting there. What time is it now? It's 10:15. I've got to get up at 3:30.
All right, we should wrap this up soon so you can get some sleep. Yeah, I think we'll probably do another... I'm kind of keen to do like Back to the Future or something, but...
Yeah, I'm keen.
We'd really have to just
Do you
keep
do the
points.
one, or do you do all three?
What's your favourite?
The one where he goes into the future.
Oh, okay.
I like that one.
Mine is
Don't tell me the train.
It's number 3.
The fucking Western
I
one?
loved it when I was a kid.
Really?
Loved it. Yep.
Nah. As if you didn't like the hoverboard. And
Oh no, I do. Like I like all the movies, but for some
they're
reason,
all good.
again, like my grandma when I was growing up had the biggest VHS collection. She had this she had a whole like massive TV cabinet thing. So big TV in the
She's
middle.
like the olden version of the ones who used to collect the Blu-ray DVDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so inside the TV cabinet, like on both sides were these big doors and just stacked to the brim with VHSs. So yeah, the go-tos were always Star Wars original trilogy, Back to the Future trilogy, like Hook would have been in there, a whole bunch of things. Like every time we'd go around there, she had this like pull-out sofa bed, and me and my sister would have that. And we'd have to bloody take it in turns on what movies. And my sister always hated it that I always pick like Back to the Future and stuff. But suck it, it's my turn to pick. So it was always Back to the And for whatever reason, I used to watch them all like because we used to stay for like a weekend or whatever.
Yeah, I used to go to my nana's for like that's when I used to hire videos.
Yeah,
she lived at like Mulla, which is like back then it was like an hour and a half drive to get there
before the
big northern. Yeah, now it's like half an hour. But yeah, we used to go from there all the way over to Gawler, which is like another hour's drive. Yeah. And that's when I used to hire all the movies. She'd be like, you can get 7 weeklies for like, however many it was.
It's probably like $10.
Yeah, legit. And then like I was there for 2 weeks, so we'd go back after a week and I'd get to refresh them. And then she'd go and take them back for me. But like, I'd just get all the classics every time. And every time she's like, you already got that one last time you hit. I was like, pfft.
That's why my sister hated it, is because I just used to watch the same shit every time. Like it was always Star Wars, Back to the Future.
That's like I got annoyed at my brother because he's 14 years younger than me.
Yeah.
When he was little, DVDs were hit like back then.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo every fucking day.
Could you do it?
I'm not even kidding. Finding Nemo every day. I could almost recite that thing off by like if it came up, be like, oh yeah, I remember this bit, and remember that bit.
Yeah,
and it was just like,
I've watched that quite a few times. I reckon I could do that.
Yeah.
Have you watched the new one? Not new anymore, but Finding Dory.
Oh yeah, I think I did. Well, they're at the aquatic center, not the aquatic center, but the aquarium.
Yeah, I only watched that for the first time recently because the kids were watching it.
Oh, yeah, that happens, doesn't it? And you're like, I might sit down and watch this.
Oh yeah, I love a lot of the stuff that Harrison watches now.
It's my favourite when my wife goes, "Oh, tell the boys they can put on a movie." I'm like, really? I was like, we can watch boys, we can watch a movie.
Yeah. She means it for all the boys.
Yeah. And then she goes and sits down, has a rest.
Cool.
Classic.
All right. Well, not sure what we'll do. We'll do something.
Yeah, we'll choose. We're gonna.
Not sure where we're gonna record. We'll record somewhere.
Yeah, we always find a way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're doing it on a Sunday again.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
I'll try and push out last week's episode by tomorrow.
Yeah, because you're a bit late last night. Well, you do all the stuff. I just sit back and wait for it.
Yeah, it'll come. It might be coming tomorrow afternoon or night like it did last week.
Yeah. Still on the day. Still on the day.
Still on the I said it's going to be released every Monday.
Actually,
didn't
like
tell
I
you
said,
what time it will be on a Monday.
One of the people I know that do watch it. I spoke to him the day like that weekend.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it might not come out. And I was like, because I was like, yeah, the final episode comes out tomorrow or on Monday or whatever. Yeah. So he's probably like going for he listens to it on his morning run, I think.
Hopefully he was running Tuesday then by the time he actually...
My mum even said she was like listening to one. Yeah. And she's like, I didn't realise it goes for an hour and a half. I was like, yeah, they all do.
You got to listen on like 1.5 speed.
Yeah, she was like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, you better make time. We need the views.
All good.
Any on that, make sure you give it a like and share.
Hey, share. We haven't said share. Like, subscribe and share.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Put the button up.
Until next week.
Toodles.